I had already prepared a video for release when my phone kept pushing notifications about Ukraine using trucks to transport drones into Russia, striking Russian airfields and causing significant losses, including strategic bombers like the Tu-95 and Tu-22. I'm not particularly interested in the Russia-Ukraine conflict because discussing it always costs me a lot of followers. Many of my fans support Russia, mainly because they resent American hegemony, so they see Russia as just. Personally, I find it hard to support Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but I also think Russia helps China by countering the US and Europe. My videos often please neither side. Some can't accept that I don't support Russia, while others think I should clearly condemn Russia's aggression. This black-and-white mindset leaves me at a loss. The Ukraine war stems from the US color revolution, NATO's eastward expansion, and historical grievances between the Russian and Ukrainian peoples. Russia feels compelled to address Ukraine's strong anti-Russian sentiment and neo-Nazi persecution of ethnic Russians in Ukraine. However, Ukraine is an independent nation, and since the Soviet Union's collapse, Russia has no right to interfere in its internal affairs. As a Chinese person, I'm speaking the truth. China has many Russia supporters, and its elite understand that China currently needs Russia. Yet, Chinese netizens largely believe Russia is invading Ukraine. Despite the Zelensky government's repeated provocations and accusations against China in diplomatic settings, which frustrate Chinese netizens, this doesn't change China's respect for other nations' territorial integrity. Overall, whenever Ukraine deals a heavy blow to Russia or Russia achieves a major victory, some cheer. Emotionally, Ukraine garners more sympathy, but from a national interest perspective, Chinese people understand the government's pro-Russia stance, as Russia's fall would make China the next target. Chinese people deeply resent the malice of European and American politicians toward China. Their attitude goes far beyond anti-communist ideology. They aim to fundamentally crush China's threat to Western dominance, even denying Chinese workers the chance to tighten screws on production lines. So, in the future, for major events on the Russia-Ukraine battlefield, I'll discuss them from a technical perspective. Ukraine's security service, known as SBU, carried out an operation codenamed Spiderweb, using 117 first-person view drones to attack Russian air bases in 5 regions: Murmansk, where the Olynya base is located; Irkutsk, home to the Belaya base; Ivanova, Ryazan, and Amur. This was the largest single-day drone strike on Russian air bases in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The SBU claims the attack destroyed or damaged 41 Russian warplanes, including Tu-95 strategic bombers, Tu-22M strategic bombers, and 1 in 12 transport plane, with a total value of about $70 billion. Russia confirmed that Ukraine's drones attacked air bases in Murmansk, Irkutsk, Ivanova, Ryazan, and Amur. The Murmansk and Irkutsk bases were hit by drones launched from nearby areas, causing several planes to catch fire, though the fires were extinguished with no casualties, and some involved individuals were detained. Attacks in the other regions were repelled by air defense systems. Based on satellite imagery and various videos circulating online, Ukraine destroyed or damaged at least 5 to 8 strategic bombers, including Tu-95 and Tu-22M, and 1 in 12 transport plane. This operation undoubtedly achieved significant success. It's said the operation was planned long ago, directly commanded by Zelensky and Ukraine's military leadership, with rumors that Trump was not informed beforehand. If true, this isn't good for the US. Trump's priority is to end the Russia-Ukraine war to shift domestic opinion and align with Putin against China. Frankly, Trump sees Europe's weakness as unreliable, burdening the US with higher military costs. Only by aligning with Russia can the US effectively counter China. However, Biden's instigation of the Ukraine war was a major strategic mistake for the US. It not only caused a complete rift between Russia and Europe but also made firm anti-Russian sentiment politically correct in the US. As a major power, Russia is hard for the West to defeat. China can simply observe their struggle, provide Russia with economic aid to prevent its economy from collapsing, and gain ample strategic space. In the Russia-Ukraine war, both sides have developed various drone tactics and advanced weapons like rocket artillery, missiles, tanks, and armored vehicles have been showcased, giving China valuable observation opportunities. Honestly, Russia's weak combat effectiveness and outdated equipment have shocked Chinese observers, and the Western weapons systems have been seen through by China. Both sides are just weaklings fighting each other, with little technical sophistication. In this year's India-Pakistan conflict, China's lower-tier J-10 fighters, paired with PL-15 missiles, heavily damaged French and Russian-made fighters. The U.S. military's ineffectiveness against Houthi forces in Yemen further boosted Chinese confidence. Take the use of drones by Ukraine and Russia as an example. Both sides heavily purchase civilian drones and components from China, modify them for combat, and, despite being less advanced than Chinese toy factories, still achieve significant results. Russia, a military superpower on par with the US, shockingly lacks effective drone jamming equipment. Ukraine's drone raid on Russian airfields further exposes serious flaws in Russia's border management and national security systems, with a lack of basic emergency response capabilities. Such a country is disconnected from modernization and informatization. On the Ukrainian battlefield, Russia has lost vast numbers of armored vehicles and tanks, with soldiers resorting to Chinese electric bicycles and tricycles, and Ukraine is in a similar state. This rural brawl-like war scene shows both sides are at the edge of their endurance. Zelensky aims to gain the upper hand at the negotiation table through this operation. But this is foolish. It's like publicly slapping Putin's face on a global stage. If Putin can't respond with equal force and inflict heavy losses on Ukraine, it'll be hard to justify domestically. His rule relies on a strongman image, and the prolonged Ukraine war has already damaged that image, leaving little room for retreat. From basic human morality and conscience, I hope both sides soon end this meaningless war that consumes countless young lives. But I also know that if Russia and Ukraine stop fighting, Western politicians will find ways to spread war to China. So, selfishly, I hope the stalemate continues. However, Chinese people should wake up from the dream of being moral exemplars. The tragedies in Gaza and Ukraine show that when war comes, people have no choice. Therefore, strengthening military capabilities, launching unimaginable retaliation against nations and politicians who start wars, and ensuring their complete destruction is the top priority. The Pakistani military's strong performance on the battlefield forced India to halt fighting. If their army had been defeated, Islamabad could have become another Gaza.